Julius Erving's arrival in 1971 transformed the league.
Once I got to Virginia, it was almost like, having the chains taken off. No zones. You could dunk the ball. And since, I was a young free spirit during that time, I figured I could run all day, jump with the best of them. And I literally said, the chains have been taken off. Now let me see if I can handle this.
He was just inventing stuff on the way to the basket. I don't think he knew. We didn't know. I know his teammates didn't know. All the Virginia Squires knew was that guy's a whole lot better than whoever it was at Massachusetts. He ain't even the same player, not even on the same planet.
We play a wide open type game, and we want to take advantage of different opportunities in different situations. I grab the rebound and fill the lanes, and any two defenders that they can get back, there's always a possibility that we're big enough to go over them.
We were going to be playing the Virginia Squires in an exhibition game in St. Petersburg, and I called the Squires PR guy, and I said, hey, I'm doing this release for the game, and I understand you have this new outstanding player, a guy named Julius Erving there, and can you tell me about him? And he says, I can't. He's indescribable.
Erving's talent was extraordinary. His game, revolutionary. And the league followed his lead.
I developed my own style of play, which is at times sort of a playground style.
You're feeling your way, you get out of position a lot, you get off balance, and you can make up for a lot of your mistakes by recovering and pretty much doing some spectacular things and superhuman type things.
He was blessed with natural attributes that enabled him to do things that mere mortals weren't able to do.
And he would elevate. And as he would go up,
his hips go by my head. And I'm standing at the foul line, and I said, no way. And I turn around and I look, and there he goes gliding in the air.
The way I described it was he scares the ball in the basket.
Kind of built a little bit of reputation. People started calling me the doctor at that time.
Do you like the name?
Oh, yeah, I love it. I think the kids really love it, though, because Julius Erving might be a difficult name for them to pronounce. And Dr. J is very catchy, and they don't often forget it.
And I never had so much attention on the bench. You see games, you see guys on the bench looking around, right? The first year Doc was there, they watched the game, because every night it was something new.
Despite the fact that you're an opposing coach, does he sometimes thrill you because you're a basketball enthusiast?
No doubt about it. I think anybody who loves this game looks at this fella and says, wow, that's the way the game should be played.
And there is Julius Erving. Look at that move behind the back. Oh!
If Julius would have gone to the NBA right away, the first thing was that you had to play fundamental. You don't make passes up in the air. You don't do what is not fundamentally sound. People would try things in the ABA that you would not try in the NBA because you had the freedom to do that. The ABA let people understand that creativity was good at basketball.
We had a lot of guys that were from the playground. The coaches in the league let them play this style of play, and it became part of the game because you know what, it worked.
We were averaging 15 to 20 dunks a game.
And all of a sudden, you get this run, shoot, and holler game, which became a playground game with talented professional players.
We wasn't getting no media. We wasn't getting no TV. We barely got radio. So, we were trying to establish ourselves any way we can. But the only way we really could have done it is being able to fill that basket up. And that's what the fans really admired about the ABA. It's our fast-paced style. You had a chance to really show your skills and make some great moves and stuff because you stayed in the flow of the game. And, that's where I feel basketball is supposed to be played.
Few played basketball quite like 19-year-old George Gervin when he came to the ABA. At 6'7", the ludicrously skinny Gervin was perfectly suited to a league that encouraged the flamboyant rather than the physical.
I played basketball to entertain our fans. You know, I wanted the fans to go home and say, wow, did you see that move Ice laid down today?
The Iceman would be gliding. And you'd say, we have him under control tonight. And the guy with the stats would say, you're right, he only has 37. And you would go, how many? Because he would do it so effortlessly.
Like the times, the game had changed.
We were a non-traditional league with a non-traditional ball, with non-traditional approaches, with non-traditional owners. I think that we were a non-traditional entity in an era that started to recognize that tradition wasn't always the way to go.
Although it was, quote unquote, professional league, there was something about it that ran counter to all the stress and strain of what was happening in our society.
The revolution. I think we all kind of sensed that. Since we were looked at that way, then the expression of the era was easier for us to bring out.
There was some serious flavor in the ABA that didn't exist in the NBA. The NBA was viewed as being the brown ball league, it's older, more traditional, and, their protocol was already established.
And in the ABA, there was no protocol. We all did what we wanted to do, and everybody had beards and mustaches and bell-bottom pants and the loud colored shirts and the big afros, and they were able to have their own identity.
The bigger the afro, and actually the more militant you could look, the better it was. And when they ran, the thing flopped, and then when they took off, just kind of flowed back, just kind of accentuated nastiness.
The best hairdo was Darnell Hillmans. He was another guy that played for the Pacers, terrific leaper. Darnell's was like a mushroom cloud, looked like the scene of Bikini in 1946 or something like that, sitting on top of his head.
Big afros were in, and I decided, well, I'm going to grow me one and get it just the way I wanted, not realizing that this would be one of the things that everyone remembered you by, and everywhere you went, that's what they would look forward to is, oh, there's Darnell, he's got all of that hair.
Darnell taught me how to do my hair. So we shared secrets with one another. That was something I think was probably unheard of in the NBA.
In the early 70s, the NBA still considered itself a vastly superior league. That attitude changed after some surprisingly competitive exhibition games, as if using the ABA ball wasn't humbling enough.
Reality set in. Hey, they're winning some of these games. I mean, that shook people up. I didn't think they'd win some of these games. And I, frankly, was astonished that such a thing could happen. I was completely blown away by the idea that Billy Paultz, the Whopper, could play with Dave Cowens and played a terrific game. And that opened my eyes. And from that point on, I'll tell you, I went from up on that perch with them to right down here saying, whoa, baby, you guys had better stop being so hardy because this other league has some players.
After years of disgrace, the ABA had grown up. It was now the in-place, especially in areas the NBA had overlooked, like Utah, where the Stars enjoyed tremendous fan support and won the 1971 championship with players like Zelmo Beatty, Ron Boone, and Willie Wise.
These are the Stars, and they are the champions of the Western Division of the ABA. A fantastic crowd here at the airport to welcome our champions.
The Kentucky Colonels were another stable and proficient franchise. The Colonels had a winning record in 8 of their 9 ABA seasons. They played in the championship series 3 times and won the title in 1975.
Colonels are going to hang their first ABA championship banner.